Okay, in this session, we will be talking about the chapter 7. Okay, so we will see politics and society. The first topic is actually theories of power. Okay, so here we will see theories of power. So we will try to understand what is power, and then we will discuss about what are the different theories of power. So if you see in the coming chapters also, like in when we discuss about religion, you will see theories of religion. So some of the theories that we have already covered, for example, when we talk about theories of power from Marxian point of view, we have already covered this theories of power, and you know what is the Marxian understanding of power, right? Some people hold power and they use it for their own benefit. They are the ruling class, mainly the bourgeois, right? So they hold the power. So we will anyway quickly revisit this, but there is no point in getting into the details of it. So Marx theory we already know, but we will see what are the other theories, like functionalist theory is there, then Weberian theory is there, also pluralist theory is there. So these are the main four different sections or dimensions that we need to discuss under theories of power. Similarly, when we discuss about next chapter, theories of religion, you will see already we have discussed about the concept of religion for Marx, religion for Durkheim, okay, and then we have also talked about religion from Weber's perspective. So apart from that, some minor theories will be there. Also, we have discussed about social change in the last chapter. Theories of social change, when we discuss Marx's concept of social change, we have already covered through revolution. And also when we talk about Parsons, I have told you cybernetic hierarchy of control, moving equilibrium, the concept of social change we have discussed, right? So almost all those concepts are associated. Whenever we talk about this word theories, important sociologists we have already covered, okay? So here in this session, when we talk about theories of power, we will first define what is power, and for this I will take one of the best definition, which is actually given by Weber. So we will define power on the basis of Weber, and then we will see what is the Weberian understanding of power, or what is a Weberian theory. We will also see the functionalist, especially Parsons, okay? So the theory given by Parsons. So Weberian theory is actually a constant sum game. Constant sum game, that means if someone is possessing it, the other will lose it. Weberian, that is a Weberian understanding. I'll explain what is constant sum power. Functionalist will try to understand it as variable sum. It is actually power is there, but it is held by the people, few people, for the collective benefit of society. Okay, so that is variable sum game. We will discuss that also. Then we have to discuss about Marxist. Already we know about this concept Marxist, and then we will discuss about elite theory. Elite, here we will be dividing into classical elite. Okay, there we will see a few concepts like circulation of elite, etc. And then apart from that, pluralist concept also we will see. Okay, so if the question is about any of this, even if the question in 2015 when I got into the this question was asked, the Weberian theory, this you can see in 2014 mains, Weberian, the constant sum and variable sum was actually asked. Okay, so this was a very easy answer, and you know, I'm sure that I might have scored very good in this answer, but my approach was, I talked about constant sum. As a contrast to that, I have discussed about variable sum, but also I have talked about Marxist perspective, elitist, and in that especially pluralist perspective, everything I have incorporated. Okay, it was actually a 20 marker. So that is how you need to answer. Even if the question is about variable sum only, you have to talk about constant sum and also pluralist and also Marxist. So everything is interconnected, and you will not have to face any problem even if you have very limited content. If you only know this is constant sum, what exactly constant sum, only in, you know, maybe 30-40 words is enough for you, because others, this also you can write, this also you can write, this also you can write as a criticism or as discussion, and that is how you need to write in your paper. Okay, so that will fetch you a lot of marks. So you have to go with that approach, bring all the different dimensions if the question is asked on this particular topic. Not only this, if the question is about theories of religion, theories of social change, try to bring all the possible social changes as discussion or as analysis. Okay, whatever it is, whatever possible way you try to bring in, so that you will get better marks. Okay, and that year one more advantage that I got is actually the essay was also related to power. So in fact I have written about Weberian and functionalist concept, and I am sure that this variable sum concept I would have got very good mark in that particular concept, because there is a very beautiful concept. It is not the individual who hold the power, it is a society collectively hold the power. You can say the society is powerful if the society, you know, is performing good, if the well-being, if the social aspects. Okay, so if the society is actually doing good, you can say that society is powerful. For example, when you say US is powerful, the US as a collectivity is actually doing good, their social indicators are good, so society collectively getting the benefit. That's what you mean by, so it is a society who hold the power, it is not the individual. Individuals are just the agents. Okay, so power is actually an indication that society is doing good. More power is there in those societies which are doing good. Why US is more powerful? Because that society is actually doing good. So power is something which is collectively held for the collective benefit and collective harmony and for the society. I'll come to this. Okay, so let's talk about the definition. So this I have taken directly from Essential Sociology. Very good content. Essential Sociology is taken directly from Harlem Boss. So Harlem Boss you don't want to read completely. If you wish to, you can read, but the essential points or the required points, the required thinkers and thoughts is actually incorporated here. And in fact in that I have encircled also whatever you need to know from this particular topic. So firstly, you will have to see the definition of power. Okay, so power refers to the ability or capacity to control others. So sociological theories of power and power elite. So the power is the ability of individual or group to carry out their will even when opposed by others. So better definition you will see when it comes to Weber. So this is what you need to write in your paper. So this sentence you have to write. So Weber defines power in his Economy and Society 1920s. If possible, you can remember the book name. The chance of men to realize their own will in a communal action even against the will of others who are participating in a social action. So if you can, you know, it is the chance of men to realize your own will even against, you know, those who are participating in the social action, even against the will of the others in the same part of social action. Okay, so that is what you mean by power. Now power can be of two types: coercion and authority. Weberian definition presupposes that power is a constant sum game. Now we'll explain what is constant sum game, but functionalists view it as a variable sum game. We'll see this also. They also say that power is exercised by few, but it is for the good of all and it leads to collective well-being. Though this is related to variable sum. It is for the collective well-being. Higher the well-being achieved, more the powerful is the society. So you can see US is more powerful. Why? Because the well-being in that society is actually very good. Parsons regarded power differential as necessary for the effective pursuit of goals of society. So for the betterment of society, power is essential. The better society will have the more power. Okay. Authority is that form of power which is accepted as legitimate. So what do you mean by authority? Authority is the legitimate power. What is power? Power is the ability of the individual to do something even against the will of others. Okay, so that is what we have discussed in the Weberian understanding. Your own will in a communal action even against those who are the others will who are participating in the social action. So that's what you mean by power. So when power will become authority, the legitimate power is the authority. Okay, power can be illegitimate, through force also, through illegitimate ways also. You can exercise power, you can control the others, but legitimate power is the authority. Okay, like police, judiciary, all these are legitimate power. These are the authority. So authority is that form of power which is accepted as legitimate, that is as right and just. Okay, it means that the master has the right to command and can expect to be obeyed. Various bases of sources of power can be, it can be personal power, knowledge power, prestige power, emotional power, communal power, power of the elite, class power, organizational power, power of the unorganized masses. All these are sources of power. Okay, so if the question is about sometimes simply 10 marker, you can just get like this. sources of power. Simplest 10 marker sources of power. So what you need to write? You need to write what is power. Okay, Weber's definition you can write. You can also talk about just constant sum, variable sum. I'm going to explain that constant sum and variable sum concept now. And also you can talk about this idea that we have discussed here, authority. The legitimate power is the authority, and the sources of power you can, and also whatever you want you can add. Some more we are going to discuss in the coming session. Okay, so various theoretical perspectives on power. Firstly, Weber gave a constant sum game. Weber understood power as a constant sum. That means one exercise power at the expense of other. So if A possesses power, A dash, the other person won't have power. Okay, so it is actually a constant sum game, zero sum game. So he described three bases of power: traditional authority, charismatic authority, and legal rational authority, or rational legal authority. So we will be discussing about this under authority. Separately we will discuss this: traditional authority, charismatic authority, legal rational authority. These are the ideal types of authority. So you should be adding that discussion here. So when we talk about Weber, it is constant sum game. One person exercises it at the cost of other. So if A is exercising, the other person won't have the power. So that is what you mean by zero sum or constant sum game. Okay, so here he understood the basis of power. Three ideal types he explained, that is traditional authority, charismatic authority, and rational legal authority. Now what about functionalist? It is variable sum game, especially Parsons. So functionalists see power vested with society. So power is actually with the society and as a variable sum game. They argue that the collective welfare increases in society, the amount of power held by the society also increase. So you need to understand whether the society is powerful or not. How? If the collective well-being of the society, the social indicators, the social performance of the society, if it is better, if it is doing good, the powerful is the society. Okay, so you can compare US society and Indian society. Which one is more powerful? US society, because the social well-being is actually good when it comes to that society. Okay, so according to Parsons, since it is very difficult for society itself to exercise power, social positions are created. We have discussed in the theory of structural functionalist perspective of social stratification that social positions are created. Some are functionally more important, they will perform better jobs, so they will be more powerful. Why that is there? Because to enhance the functioning of society, coordination among society, etc. Okay, so social positions are created which are functionally more important, and power is exercised through that positions. Power is used in society to achieve collective goals and benefits to everyone, and everyone wins, and there are no winning elites and no losing masses. So power in society means it is for collective goals. So if the collective goals are met, it is benefit for everyone. So everyone will win in this context. Nobody is losing. So there is no winning elites. Normally when we talk about power, only few people hold power, whether it is Weber or when it comes to Marx also, few ruling class will hold power, so they will be the winning class, right? They will be the winning elites, and the masses, maximum people, they will be the losing masses. But here that is not the case according to functionalist. It is a collective benefit of society. Everybody will win, and there is no one who is going to lose in this process. Okay, so it is not the case of winning elites or losing masses. Everybody is winning collectively because society is performing better if more power is there in the society. This further forms the basis for cooperation and reciprocity in society, which is essential for maintaining the well-being or social order in the society. So that's about the functionalist perspective. As usual, functionalist will try to see everything in a functional term. Then comes Marxist. We have talked about this already. There is an economic infrastructure, there is superstructure. Those who are strong in economic infrastructure, they control everything. They are the ruling class, and they make laws, they make institutions, everything in their favor, right? So it is the economic infrastructure who have the hold over the infrastructure will be the more powerful, and that will be a minority. The haves will be minority, have-nots will be majority, and the minority, that is the haves, will exploit the majority, bourgeois and proletariat in the capitalist society. Okay, so Marxists see power not in the form of authority. That means it is not legitimate. When it comes to Weber, it is authority. When I am talking about authority, the word authority means it is legitimate power only. Okay, So here it is not legitimate, but in the form of coercion. Okay, so here coercive power of the haves over the have not. It is not societal resource as claimed by the functionalist. Okay, but it is rather used by dominant groups to satisfy their own interest. Their interests are in direct conflict to those of the others who are subjected to the power, right? So here the ruling class and the ruled class, the interest is contradictory. So it can never be, similar to the arguments of functionalist. From Marxian perspective, source of power is economic infrastructure. You know that but it extends beyond economic infrastructure and extends to all other aspects of social life. Why? The reason also, because this is economic infrastructure which comprise of FOP, ROP. So if you have control over this, you are powerful and you are shaping the superstructure. Okay, so power is basically a product of economic infrastructure, but still it controls everything. The reason is it shapes superstructure like family, religion, culture, education, everything is actually shaped. So everywhere power is exercised by that few people who are strong here. Okay, so this is the idea. The ruled class accept the power of the ruling class, but it is due to false consciousness. We have discussed that also. Only way to return power to the people involves communal ownership of forces of production, and that will come through revolution. Possible only through revolution when the mature condition exists. Next is elite theories. As of now, you might not be knowing about these theories. You may not be knowing about any of these names also. But let's look into this. Elite theories are the foremost theories of power. They broadly fall into two categories: classical elite theories and pluralistic elite theories. Okay, so both are not that important as compared to the three that we have discussed, but still you need to know this. There can be short notes from especially classical elites. Okay, Mosca, Pareto, C.W. Mills. We will see these three separately. We will give importance to these three. Fall under classical elite category. Apart from these we will discuss just like that, but not that important compared to Mosca, Pareto and C. Wright Mills. So let's go through the classical elite theory. The term elite refers to those who excel. So elite means that ruling class, those who excel. Elite theory developed in part as a reaction to Marxism. It rejected the Marxian idea that a classless society having an egalitarian structure could be realized after class struggle in every society. No, right? Marxian concept of egalitarianism will never come into existence according to elite theory. Classical elite theory was propounded by two Italian sociologists, Pareto and Mosca. There is a small difference, not big difference between them. We will discuss that. Pareto and Mosca. Both Pareto and Mosca believe that personal qualities are basis of power, and they rejected communism as a utopia and Marxism as an ideological bias. So their theories, the elite theories, are actually as a response to the Marxian idea. So they rejected the concept of communism and they favored this. This is what you need to remember here when we discuss about classical elite theory. But these two are similar. When it comes to C. Wright Mills, he is slightly different, not necessarily personal qualities. Okay, so here personal qualities. Now let's go to Wilfred Pareto. He made the classic critique of Marx by comprising his words to a fable about this you can just read. Okay, so the classical elite theorists identify the governing elite in terms of superior personal qualities. So the governing elites, the ruling minority, they have some special characteristics. They will either come under the category of lions or they will come under the category of folks. Folks means those people who rule with cunningness. Lions are those people who rule with force, the authority, like these people will rule with power, force. But foxes, like this examples, if you see here, I have given example. Yeah, lion like dictators, foxes, the Chanakya, Chandragupta, etc. So they rule with cunningness. So these are personal qualities. These are two extremes. But it is not necessary that one person, the lions, the person with this quality will have the quality of this. If both quality is there, then it is better. Okay, you cannot replace that person from the power. You cannot overthrow that person, but this person, lion, may be overthrown by this person with time. Okay, because this person may not have the idea to how to continue the power, how to use it, how to rule it properly, etc. When the power loss, he will also lose the authority. And similarly, this person, he might have this cunningness and everything, but after some time when a powerful person come, he may also lose his power. Okay, so this process is what Pareto calls as circulation of elite. Lion may be replaced with fox. Fox may further be replaced with another lion will be with fox. So this process will continue. This is what circulation of elite. Okay, so let's look into that. The classical elite theorists identify the governing elite in terms of superior personal qualities of those who exercise power. However, later versions of elite theory place less emphasis on the personal qualities. They argued that the hierarchical organization of social institution allows a minority to monopolize power. Yes. Elite theory argued that all societies are divided into two main groups, ruling minority and the ruled. Okay, ruled majority, ruling minority. And this situation is actually inevitable. If the proletarian revolution occurs, it will merely result in the replacement of one ruling elite by another. There may be proletarian revolution as discussed by Marx, but egalitarian society will never come into existence. That ruling minority may be replaced by another ruling minority. Okay, so Italian sociologist Wilfred Pareto claimed in his book that personal qualities separate rulers and the ruled, and they are same at all time. So there are certain personal qualities. That is the reason why those people who exercise power all the time. Okay, according to Pareto, there is a ruling minority and the ruled majority. Okay, so ruled majority and ruling minority. According to him, this situation is inevitable, as even in the communism such polarization takes place where a section of have-nots occupied dominant position. So in communism, actually you're overthrowing the capitalist and you're coming, so some dominant positions will be taken by the lower class at that point of time. That may be possible. This kind of polarization may be possible. That group will be polarized. The workers class will be polarized and they will control power. Some among them may control the power according to Pareto. Okay, so according to Pareto, there are two types of governing elites, that is lions and foxes. So he borrowed this concept from Machiavelli. Lions ruled by force, dictators, and the foxes ruled by cunningness. So lions and foxes. For example, Chanakya, Chandragupta, okay, in the 19th century European democracies, okay, etc. They replace each other in a process which Pareto called as circulation of elites. I've told you already, elite rules over the masses of people because they are dominated by non-rational forces and lack rational capacities. This is the reason that the masses are unlikely to be a revolutionary force. Social change occurs when the elite begin to degenerate and is replaced by a new elite. So this is a key word here. What is social change according to them? According to Pareto, actually social change occurs when the elite begin to degenerate. For example, lion, he start losing the appeal about him among the public. So at the same time, some other person is coming who is more cunning, etc. So he may be replaced with other person, maybe with a fox, because he is having more ability to control everything. He don't have ability to control, he only have power. Later this person may be overthrown by another powerful person. Okay, so that is how social change occur, derived from the non-governing elite or higher elements of masses. All elites tend to become decadent. They decay in quality and lose their vigor as they become complacent. In this situation, the other elite seize the power. Okay, each type of elite lack the qualities of its counterpart. For example, lions lack the qualities of fox. Fox lack the qualities of lion. That is the reason why this replacement of elites are possible. Circulation of elite is possible. Both lack some qualities of the counterpart. For example, an elite of lions lack of imagination, cunningness necessary to maintain its rule, and they recruit foxes from among the masses who grew strong over the time, right? So lions, they don't have cunningness, they don't have that imagination, how to rule, etc. So they will recruit foxes for that purpose, but they will grow stronger over a period of time and they capture power. He saw even the modern democracies as just as another form of elite domination. He is however criticized for not making distinction among various forms of rules, dictatorship, democracy, fascism, communism, and so on. That is a criticism you can write. So when we talk about Pareto, what you need to essentially say is, he is talking about the ruling majority and ruling minority and ruled majority. Okay, he talking about two personal qualities, or based on the personal qualities, two different groups, that is lions and foxes. Okay, and this lions may be replaced with foxes, foxes may be replaced with lions. These are the two counterparts. They have different qualities and one lack the quality of the other. So with time, one will be degenerated and the other will come into the power. So this is what the process known as circulation of elite. Circulation of elite can be a question directly like that. Theory of power by Wilfredo Pareto can also be a question. So get prepared for this. It may be a question. Second, Gautama Mosca, almost similar. So Pareto, like Pareto, he also believed that minority rule is inevitable. But unlike Pareto, he did not believe that qualities of elite remain the same all the time and in all the societies. Pareto is talking about these qualities, lion, fox qualities will remain the same across time and across boundaries. But that is not necessarily the case according to Mosca. According to him, they vary from society to society and time to time. So this is the difference. Okay, so mainly this is the difference. He, however, also believed that democracy is also another form of elite rule. According to both Pareto and Mosca, decision in democracies actually reflect the concerns of elite, and masses are a group of passive, apathetic and unconcerned people. Okay, Mosca, however, differed from Pareto as he admitted that elite in modern democracies are open groups. So here, elites in modern democracies are open groups, and elite may be drawn from wide social background, and hence views of various strata are represented. So in the modern societies, because of positive discrimination, because of affirmative action, because of reservations, etc., from the wider social context, the elites will come. The different communities, especially when we talk about India, from SCs, from STs, from women, so from every social section participation is there. So elites are actually a dispersed category in the modern democratic system. So this is a view which is counter to the Pareto. This is the only difference. Okay, so elites may be drawn from wide social background, and hence views are different to some degree in the decision taken by the various elites. To Mosca, democracy may be government of the people, even for the people, but can never be by the people, as elite rule is inevitable. Gautama Mosca is not that important. If it is asked, it will be asked along with Pareto only, or together they will ask classical elite theories. So you need to write Pareto, Mosca and C. Wright Mills. Possible separate questions are from Pareto and C. Wright Mills. In Pareto, separately, circulation of elite concept can also be asked. So I hope you understood about Gautama Mosca and also Pareto. Next is C. Wright Mills. So he, in his book The Power Elite, he gave another elite theory. He don't believe in the elite rule is inevitable. Okay, so he didn't believe that elite rule is inevitable. According to him, there's a recent phenomena of the American society. According to him, power among elites in US is today institutionalized and is not psychological, and hence rejected the view that some members are superior to others in terms of qualities. So according to C. Wright Mills, it is actually institutional power. The institution hold power. It is not the individual. Those individual who are reaching at the top of that institutions will hold the power. Even if you talk about Indian society also, there are certain institutions like judiciary, police, etc. They hold the power. So it is the institution hold the power. If you reach at the top of that institution, then you will have the power. That is a concept which is actually given by C. Wright Mills, and he talk in the context of American society. So in the context of American society, three powerful institutions are federal government, obviously, military, and thirdly business or main corporations, MNCs. Okay, so major corporations. So institutes today wield the power, and those who are at the top of these institutes monopolize the power. Unlike Pareto and Mosca, who gave a general theory, Mills focused his analysis to USA. Certain institutions occupy key pivotal positions in society, and elites are those who hold these command positions in those institutions. three institutions mainly are military, federal government, and major corporation. Okay, according to him, interest of elites in these institutions are similar, and together they form a minority called the power elite. So here you need to get this word, that is power elite. Okay, so when we talk about power elite, the three together, these three put together, their interests are almost same. According to him, the interest of elites in these institutions are similar, and together they form minority called power elite. If you see Indian context, IAS, IPS, IRS, they together form the power elite. They together have the parties, they together have the get together. Okay, so like that. Maybe if you want to, you can actually see that it is actually a practice. Okay, so I have this experience. So thus power elite is coincidence of economic, political, and military power. Okay, so here he is talking about three dimension: economic, corporations, okay, political, federal government, military power. Okay, so these are three organizations. If you have this three organizations, then you are the most powerful, right? So that coalition, that gives more power. Okay, cohesiveness of the power elite is further strengthened by their similar social background. Further, members interchange among each other. For example, boardroom of bigger corporation have members from elites from all these institutions. Major corporates at the top, members from these institutions may also be there. From the federal government also, even the President Trump, if you see, okay, you know that. Further, members interchange among each other, okay, that we have already discussed. Power elite have unprecedented power, but they have little accountability. The problem is with very less accountability. He cites example of unilateral decision of political elite to go into World War II and drop nuclear bombs. Okay, so accountability is very less. Mill's theory is also supported by Floyd Hunter in his community power structure, as he claimed that power rests in small decision-making group which is dominated by the businessman class. So Floyd Hunter also support his argument. However, power elite theorists are also criticized on several grounds. So there are some criticisms that you can read and you will understand. So it's all about the classical theory. These are the main three theories: Wilfredo Pareto, Mosca, and also C. Wright Mills. In case of Mills, it is the institution solve the power. It is not the individuals, or it is not individual qualities. In case of Pareto and Mosca, it is personal qualities. In case of Pareto, it was lion fox qualities, and Pareto gave the concept of circulation of elite. Mosca, almost the same, personal qualities, but you know, the power derived from different social background, so different concepts or different views will be taken into consideration in the decisions of the authorities. Okay, now these are criticisms that I think you can read. Robert the Hull. So Robert the Hull we'll see when it comes to pluralist aspect, next discussion. Power is actually dispersed in society, and arguments of Mills only have a circumstantial evidence. So dispersed. Mill's theory is also criticized for having narrow view. Okay, rise of specialists has further diffused power in society. Yes. Classical elite theory is simplistic in conception and ignores the difference between various types of ruling systems like modern democracies, feudal societies, etc. Pareto and Moscow, see, you don't want to know all these criticism. Hardly 3 or 4 criticism is enough for you to write a very good answer. We are not interested in criticizing too much, okay, unless it is a critically analyzed question. Critically analyzed question also you will write hardly 3-4 criticisms. Okay, mostly you will write the theory, and if it is a particular theory, if it is constant sum game, okay, you will criticize by using variable sum game. Okay, so like that only, the opposite view will take and we will explain that rather than writing hundreds of different criticisms. Okay, so these 3-4 criticism you can remember directly there. You can either go through this PDF, I have underlined everything, or you can go through the essential sociology. Since you get it in that book format, it will be easy for you. But this chapter is very good in that book, that's why I have taken this chapter from there directly. There is nothing more to add from my side apart from this discussion. Now, pluralist theory is very simple. Power is held by different people. Political parties are there, pressure groups are there, interest groups are there. Okay, so different people, even the public also hold the power through election. So everybody is having power according to pluralist thesis. Okay. So community power concept. Pluralists have challenged the main elitist contention that a society is marked by the existence of single center of political power. It is not single centered. It is in contrast to elite and Marxist theorists who argue that power is concentrated in the hands of few. So here that is not the case. This theory is a bit to explain the power distribution in modern democracies, especially Western democracies. Modern democracies are dispersed sources of power. So here dispersed sources of power, you can see, we have discussed this in the criticism also. The first one, the Robert the Hull, dispersed in societies. Robert the Hull is actually a pluralist. We'll come to that. They argued that in a society there are multiple centers of political power. Okay, it begins by an observation that industrial society is increasingly differentiated into various social groups and sectional interest. There are diversified occupations and power is held by each. So different occupations and diversified groupings are there. Everybody is holding the power, and it's all about the process of competition, bargaining, compromises. So you bargain and compromise. So you ask for something, whatever you get, you will be satisfied. Like that. It's all about. So the role of government is basically to mediate this process of bargaining and compromise. Okay, let's see this. Formation of groups like trade unions, pressure groups, professional associations also complicates the situation. Everybody hold power. Every of these organizations have certain amount of power. Absence of single dominant group leads to bargaining and compromises. Since different groups cannot vie for power collectively, they feel their representatives who act as elites, and presence of such multiple elites creates situation of elite pluralism. So this is a key word here, elite pluralism. How it is coming? Every sections, every diverse group have their representative. Okay, so even when we talk about actual election in the context of representative democracy also, it is not possible that everybody can be sent to parliament, right? So you will select those people who is the representative of you, and they are the elites. So it is actually elite pluralism. Okay, multiple elites are powerful, and some of them will get the ministership, right? So it is all about again bargaining and compromise. So A will ask for ministership, or A will ask for home ministry, but he may get some environmental ministry by promising that next time you will get home ministry, right? Or next time you will get defense ministry. Or now home ministry, next time some other person will come to home ministry, so you will be moved towards defense ministry. It's all about the compromise, bargaining between the different elites. Okay, so these elites represent the other sections also, diverse groupings. Okay, so I hope you understood this word, elite pluralism. Government act like a broker to mediate between different elite groups, and according to Raymond Aron, government becomes business of compromise. Okay. Further continuing his criticism of the elite model, Hull argued that the elite theory confuses potential control with actual control. In his empirical study, Who Governs, he found that local politics is a business of bargaining and compromises. Okay, with no single group dominating decision making, especially when we discuss about coalition politics, no single group is dominating. It's all about bargaining and compromises. He uses his decision making model in political decision making process, and showed that economic factors are not the sole factors in decision making. Okay, similarly, next person, Arnold M. Ross. Okay, one or two is enough for you, because this pluralist thesis is not that important. Just as a criticism of elite theorist, you will write this, or any theorist you can write this as a criticism, because pluralism. Okay, elite pluralism is a concept. Till now we were talking about few elites. Okay, so minority of elites, but that's not the case here. Arnold M. Ross in his The Power Structure also having the similar use of Hull, and gives a multiple influence hypothesis. He goes one step further and argues that economic and political elite don't work hand in hand as proposed by Mills. Like what C. Wright Mills said, corporations, military and federal government work hand in hand. So what who's this? Arnold M. Ross saying is, it is not necessary that they will work together, as argued by C. Wright Mills. Karl Mannheim argued that though a policy may be seemingly formed by the purported elite, but in democracy there are various pulls and pressures that actually shape a policy. It might be seen that these elites are forming the policy, but it is not necessarily the case. The pressure will be there to shape the policy from the masses. Okay, people make their aspiration express at regular intervals, including at elections, which keep the elites in check. So election is a process through which elites are actually controlled. According to Anthony Downs in his book, as the producers and consumers defend their interest in the market, trade unions, association, etc. play a similar role in politics to defend the interest of their members and workers. So this group, trade union, associations, etc. play a key role in the politics to promote the interest of their own members. Multi-party, so here multi-party political democracy like India are also an example of similar contention. So when we see multi-party democratic system, it is all about supporting the pluralist theory thesis. Okay, public in their respective constituencies directly influences the respective political parties. With fragmented votes, parties also cannot rely on single vote bank. All these things you can read. The phenomena of non-political groups called pressure group also reflect plural centers of power. Pressure group is also an indication of plural center. Even pressure group also hold the power. Even pressure group also form part of the bargaining and compromise process. Okay. According to pluralist thesis, political parties and pressure group have made democracy a truly representative of large complex societies. So you just need to remember that word elite pluralism here. Okay, pluralists are however accused of ignoring non-decision and safe decision making. Elite concede to only those demands which do not threaten their position and retain the power of those decisions which threaten their interest. Okay, they also ignore results and consequences as According to Westergaard and Wessler, power is manifested in its consequences. Okay, so just this much is enough for us. Roberto Michel's highlight: representative of people may ultimately assert power and act in their own vested interest, ignoring the interest of public at large. So this is the main idea about power. So what we have discussed, if you summarize, entire discussion is all about Weberian concept. Weber is actually giving a constant sum game, right? Then we have discussed about functionalist, especially Parsons. So Parsons is giving an idea of variable sum game. What is constant sum game? If somebody is holding power, the other will not have. That is what constant sum. Variable sum, it is a collective benefit of society. It is a collective possession of power. Okay, so the more powerful the society, where the social indicators are better, that means society is benefiting. What do you mean by power? It is your, positive, your willingness, or it is your ability to win over others even against their will. Okay, so that is power. Legitimate power is the authority. Weber is talking about three authority: rational legal authority, traditional authority, charismatic authority. So apart from functionalist, we have also seen Marxist. And then we have seen elitist. Within elitist, we have seen classical elites like Pareto, Mosca, C. Wright Mills. And Pareto talked about foxes, lions, okay, ruling minority, ruled majority, personal qualities, replacement, that means circulation of elites. Then we discussed about Mosca. Then we discussed about C. Wright Mills, talking about institutions hold power. Those who are at the top of institution, actually the powerful, right? And we have talked about military, federal government, and also corporations as the major power centers in US. And then we have also discussed about pluralist thesis. They talk about elite pluralism, Robert the Hull, okay, Arnold M. Rose, etc. We have discussed. So I hope you understood. If you have any doubt, get in touch with me. So we will discuss it further if you have any doubt, but this is more important. Weberian concept, Parsons idea, Marxist perspective, the Pareto and C. Wright Mills. These are the 5 important concepts here. Once again, Weberian is important, constant sum. Functionalist important, Marxist obviously important. Then the 2 classical elites like Pareto, circulation of elite can be asked, and also this C. Wright Mills. Okay, so prepare it well. You don't want anything else. Maybe you can read Harlem Bose. Better version you will get from anyway Essential Sociology. So that's enough. So see you guys.